Hello everybody, my name is Sweat. Today I read Boston Tea Party. In the year 1773, there was a lot of tension between the American colonies and Britain. Britain was trying to control the colonies, but the people of the colony were trying to fight British control. The British passed a Tea Act, which they felt would force the people of the colonies to buy their tea. The British sold the tea in a very cheap price. This way, they could also tax them for the tea. The British sent ships with tea to America. As 3 ships filled with tea came into Boston Harbor, the colonists demanded that the leader of the colony make the ships leave. But the leader of the country refused to do this. The people who lived there decided to take care of the boats themselves. In the middle of the night, a group of men dressed as Indians went aboard the ship. They threw over 342 chests of tea overboard into the water. People gathered along the shore. They cheered the men on. This famous event became known as the Boston Tea Party. The King of England was upset. He did not like what the people in Boston had done. He helped pass a law to punish the men who dumped the tea into the water. This law only made the feelings between the two groups more tense. The British kept trying to control the colonies, and the colonies kept refusing. This was one of the significant events that led us to the Revolutionary War. Hello everybody, my name is Sweat. Today I read Segregation. In the 1950s, the South was very segregated. This meant that black and white people were not allowed to do anything together. They weren't encouraged to interact together in any setting. It was a sad and absurd time in the South. Laws were in place that make blacks attend separate schools and separate churches. They were not allowed to eat at the same restaurant as white people. They were not allowed to sit next to the whites on the bus or the train. If there were not enough seats for the white, black people were required to give up their seats. In public places, the white and black had separate drinking fountains. African Americans were not even allowed to vote. This has to stop, but changes came very slowly. Many people helped to bring about these changes. Jackie Robinson showed the world that black people had great talent. Thurgood Marshall fought for equal education rights for children. Rosa Parks refused to give up her seat in the bus. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. took the message to Washington, D.C. and gave his famous speech. These are many more people helping bringing about the much needed changes. Hi guys, my name is Blake. Today I read Pearl Harbor. World War II was a time of great sorrow for countries around the world. Many countries in Europe were fighting against one another. The United States had managed to stay out of the war, but that soon changed. On December 7, 1941, warplanes from Japan made a surprise attack on a naval base near Pearl Harbor, Hawaii. The results were deadly. More than 2,400 Americans were killed. Many warships were destroyed. It was a terrible day for the United States. Japan attacked the United States because it had started selling goods to Japan. Japan was angry about this and said to attack the United States. The day after the attack, the United States declared war on Japan. 3 days later, Germany and Italy declared war on the United States because they were friends with Japan. The United States became part of the war alongside Britain and the Soviet Union. Many more people were killed in World War II. It was one of the deadliest wars of all time. Hi guys, my name is Squid. Today I read Man on the Moon. The space race was on to see which country would be the first to put a man on the moon. The USSR has put the first satellite into space. It was called Sputnik. The United States was working hard to get a man on the moon. It was a top goal. It has never been done before. After years and years of hard work, it finally happened. Neil Armstrong was the first man ever to step on the moon. He His famous words are, "As one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind." The date was July 20, 1969. Pictures and story of this famous and historic event were found in newspapers around the world. There were pictures of the astronaut's footprint on the moon. Millions of people watched the event on televisions. Buzz Aldrin was also with Armstrong on the voyage to the moon. Each of them spent hours on the moon doing tests and taking samples. The surface of the moon was fine and powdery. There's a little gravity on the moon, so the two men were able to walk and hop freely on the surface. They also posted the American flag on the moon. There's no wind on the moon, so the footprints might still be there. The Gettysburg Address. Perhaps the most famous battle of the Civil War was one of Gettysburg's, Pennsylvania. At the end of the battle, over 50,000 soldiers were wounded, missing, or killed. The Union and Confederate armies has each lost thousands of men. Many of the bodies were buried in shallow graves along the battlefield. The Union Army wanted to do better than that. The Union Army was able to get land for cemetery in Gettysburg. This cemetery was declared in November of that year. Edward Everett was asked to speak at the dedication. He was a great speaker of that time. President Abraham Lincoln was also asked to speak. He was the president during the Civil War. On the day of the dedication, Major Everett spoke for 2 hours. When he was President Lincoln's turn, he spoke for 2 minutes. He didn't think it was a very good speech, but it went to be considered one of the greatest speeches of all time. It became known as the Gettysburg Address. In his speech, Lincoln talked about the new birth of freedom. His words inspired many people then, and it continues to inspire many people today.